All right, everybody, here's a little bit of information that might help out for some of you guys out there. If you guys are familiar with the Rock River two-stage trigger national match style or series, I put this trigger in this Radical Firearms AR that I got a while back, not too long ago. And I went out to the range, started firing, and then I've noticed that when you fire and you slowly release the trigger to hear the reset, every once in a while it would just let the hammer go and you would have like a double fire. And I can actually replicate this just by pulling the charging handle and just release it and let the charging handle go back at full speed to hit, to go back into battery. And I think it's just enough to just shake it to the very tip where if you slightly release it, it'll actually let the hammer go. It's not supposed to do that. You're supposed to hear a reset. Now, if I release it quickly, for instance, let's say I just let it release like that. You hear the reset. Now you should hear the click, right? That is not what is happening. Not consistently. What's happening is if I, let's say, charge the handle, let it go back at full speed and just slowly release, you heard that, right? It did reset, right? And it should click. Now watch. Did you hear that? It just went off, right? Here it goes again. It just went off again, right? And again, I could not replicate that problem until I got home and I figured out how to do it. Basically, so when you're shooting and this buffer goes back into the battery, or your bolt goes back into the battery to lock up, I think it's just hitting it hard enough to where it's moving in here just a little bit, where when you release it, right, it's not consistent. Like right there, it worked the way it should have, right? It just went off right there. So that's just something for you guys to take in if you guys are having an issue. Now, I did call Rock River, and they were really nice. They said that they're going to send me, they want me to send it in, and they're going to look at it, and they're going to check it out really carefully. Maybe there's something going on with maybe just a bad batch of them or something, but that's just something to, if you guys are looking into getting one of these, just kind of be cautious. It's more of a safety, in my opinion, for sure, but just be careful. Yeah, it kind of startled me at first when it went off like that, and I was like, why is it doing that? I thought I did something wrong, but nope, it's installed correctly. And if I ride the bolt in real smooth and easy like that, it works just fine, right? No issues, right? No problem at all. But when you replicate like it's actually firing, you're going to run into that one spot where it just goes off just like it did right there. So that's just something to remember. Anyways, that's all I got. So far, the rifle is shooting better. I was running into an issue where right here, where the gas block's at, I had a stubby mount right here, and the screws were actually touching the barrel, and I had an issue with it grouping. And then right here, the stock screw that came from Radical, it kind of looks like this guy right here, real small looking. And I found this screw that fills in the hole really nicely, and it's the same thread pitch and everything, and the length is just a tad longer. What was happening is this, at the tip right here where the barrel's at, there was a lot of movement, right? I mean, literally, it would move and rest, and it would rest the gas block on the handguard, and it was throwing the accuracy completely off. So what I did is I think the screw here, I think I got it off like one of my scope rings. I think it was either a UTG 34 millimeter spare set or something, because it's kind of like a tapered, it's a countersink style Torx. But man, it filled in the hole really nice. I mean, it kind of looks like it should be there, not like this little guy that was in the hole to begin with. But that looks that's pretty sharp. But it did the trick. Actually, it was just long enough where it took all the flex out of here, and it doesn't move anymore. So now the handguard's pretty solid. but it's much better now. I couldn't get it to group for nothing, but today I went out and to the range, and it groups okay. So it's not bad. You know, for any like I mean, like I said, it is a budget style. You know, AR. It's just a standard mil spec barrel. It groups okay, but it can group 100 times better if I change the barrel out. Like get me a Bartlett or maybe a Krieger or something like that. But that's something I am going to do. I'm going to change the barrel out to it like a heavy barrel system, like a varmint style, just to kind of have some fun with it and just to get a little bit more accuracy out of it. Um, and like I said, you don't got to break the bank. There's some barrels out there that do great and they guarantee sub MOA or MOA, you know, with probably no more than 200 bucks. So yeah, it's no longer a budget AR by then, you know, because you are putting better parts into this. So, but all you need is just the lower receiver, and the sky's the limit. Once you got the receiver, you can build it to however you want, and however long you want or short you want. Um, but this was just something, just kind of get a second rifle in my collection, so that way my wife and I can go out and shoot. And she wanted to have something, at least, you know, I got something I can pull out of the safe, and here, you know, this will work. But anyways, that's just a little bit of information I wanted to share with you guys. Uh, However, it's just unfortunate, you know, this little issue I had with the trigger. But that's all I got. Thank you. Have a good night.